say that you without sin, then what did James say? He called you a what? A liar. All right? So we all lie. And I'm not talking about the deliberate, bold-faced lying, but we all speak things sometimes that are not true.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of lying that comes from not being psychologically strong enough to be honest with ourselves. See, there has to be something going on in the mind that makes you keep telling yourself the same lie over and over again, and you keep on believing it. There's something that you're not able to come to grips with. There's something psychologically going on in the mind and in the heart that you continue on referring back to the same thing over and over to make yourself feel better, because you're not really able psychologically to handle the truth about yourself. I'm probably gonna get too many amens in here, but we gonna just deal with it anyway.
All right, that sounds good to me.
We lie about what we ate, don't we?
Yeah.
No, I didn't eat that, but we could tell you ate that because you running, got to take some kind of diabetic pill.
Right.
We know you had that because now you're running for your high blood pressure medicines and all those type of things. We know that you ate that, so we lie about it. We lie about how we truly feel. Somebody say, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored. Anybody heard that before?
Oh, yeah.
And you know good and well, on the inside of yourself, you don't feel blessed and you don't feel highly favored. Come on, need a mic, John. We lie about our strengths and we lie about our weaknesses. We say we're strong when we know we're weak in that area. Are y'all hearing me?
Yes.
Y'all know we do, don't we?
Yes.
Can only lift 100 pounds, but you're going to put it up 110, 115. We lie about our temptations and our trials because some of us want to have people believe that we all good, that don't nothing bother us and we ain't tempted in no area of our life, and that's a lie that you're telling yourself. But no, people that are smart and got discernment on the inside of them, we already know. Look at somebody and say, we already know. We already know that you're tempted in certain ways. See, now you won't be honest to say what you're tempted in, but we all know that all of us are tempted in areas of our life. And we all got tests and trials that we deal with. And instead of being honest about it, it's better to tell a lie about it. Y'all hearing this? We lie about our most important life choices. Who did I marry? Who did I divorce? Who did I give my money to? Why did I write that check out to that? Why did I get this? I didn't even need another gadget. I done bought something else. Home shopping challenge and got me again. I done bought something that I know I don't even need.
Right.
Y'all hearing it? And because we lie, we end up fooling ourselves into believing things that are false, and we refuse to believe the things that are true. This is sometimes why you argue with your spouse so much. Because your spouse knows you and you know them. And when they start hitting that truth about you, then you got to bring out a truth about them. And then it starts being the dozens back and forth. Y'all firing, fire, 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 fire. Anybody know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
See, we don't like for people to tell us the truth about ourselves. But it's a truth and a pill you need to take on a daily basis. A dose of reality about yourself. That you ain't as great as you thought you was. Sorry. That you ain't as holy as you thought or pretend to be. Y'all, I guess I'm talking to the wrong group. See, when we begin to to understand and begin to know that there is a truth that is wonderful to hear. And then there's a truth that you don't really want to hear. You still need both of those truths in order for you to have a well-balanced life and a well-balanced understanding and perspective of yourself. Because if you don't get the truth told about you, you're going to continue on walking into self-deception. Y'all hearing it?
Boy, you preaching. Come on.
Self-deception. This is the consequences for the lies that we say to ourselves. Self-deception comes with the profound cost because we live our truth whether we are honest about it or not. Whether you confess whatever it is about yourself or not, self-deception is going to have you, you're going to live what it is that you won't confess anyway. Whether you're honest about it or not, you're going to live that truth. There's no way to escape that truth. We coming on down here, ain't we? Ain't no way you can escape yourself, can you? See, ain't no way you can take a vacation from yourself, is it? You got to, every day you look in the mirror, you got to look at yourself. And you got to look at the things that you and the decisions and the choices that you have made. You have to keep dealing with those decisions, and there's consequences for the choices you made. And you're going to live that truth whether you are honest about it or not. Self-deception exemplifies in our thinking, it exemplifies itself in our beliefs, in our behavior, in our emotional reactions, and our relationships. And that's everybody in here. Everybody in here have a thinking pattern. Everybody in here have a belief system. Everybody in this room have certain behaviors that you display. Everybody in here can act emotional at some time or not, even though you try to push emotion aside. Everybody in here are in some type of relationship, whether it's a father to a son, a daughter to a brother, a sister to a mother. Are you here? Everybody that has a relationship, and self-deception is going to be entrenched in everything about you. Whether you admit certain things or not, a lot of us live our life false anyway. We live in falsehoods. We live pretending. That old statement, I gotta fake it till I make it, brother. I gotta fake this thing. I don't know who I'm preaching to. Maybe I'm preaching to none of y'all. Oh, y'all good. Y'all ain't faking nothing. Self-deception. I was saying, Father, why are you giving me this message? So that means I got to look at myself, don't I? See, the message always comes to the ones who's preaching it first. See? It always comes to the one who's giving the message first. It got to hit the messenger first. I can't be self-deceived. If I can't be self-deceived, y'all can't be self-deceived either. Self-deception is, for some of you, has become a coping mechanism that comforts you when you don't want to deal with the reality of any matter that highlights your flaws. That's it. You put a cover on of self-deception because you don't want to deal with how you really look. Just, ooh, self-deception. Ooh, I feel so good deceiving myself. Y'all didn't know that you can feel good deceiving yourself? If you poor, it feels good to say I'm rich, though. Ooh, I got a lot of money. Well, where is it, brother? I don't know, but it sure feel good saying it. Y'all hearing this? See, so self-deception is a coping mechanism because you don't want to deal with the reality of what you're really doing, because you don't want certain highlights of your life that got the flaws in it to be on display. Just imagine if each and every one of us walked around with a big teleprompter on our head, and every thought that came to your mind showed up on the teleprompter.
We had to break it.
You walk in front of somebody and say, "How you doing today?" And before you know it, it's on the screen already.
I can't have that.
People say the one that the uncle or the cousin that come and always borrowing money, and they say, "Hey, can I get some money, man? Come on, man, loan it to me." Before you know, it's on the screen. It's on the screen. That friend that keep doing you wrong and keep stabbing you in the back, and they say, "Hey, what's up? I ain't seen you in a long time." Before you can get it out, it's written on the screen. Sometimes the screen don't have to be a literal screen. It can be your face. How do people know? Sometimes people wear what they're going through on their face. You can look at them and say, "Now I'm looking at you," and tell there's something wrong. I know you saying, "I'm fine, mama. I'm fine, daddy." But no, there's something wrong with you. I can look in your face and tell something wrong with you.
That's the truth.
One major cause of self-deception is that we hurt ourselves and those we love the most when we don't take full responsibility for who we are, for who we really are. Now, we ain't talking about we Israel. No, we're talking about who you really are outside or being an Israelite. Let's talk about who you really are. See, a lot of people, they hide behind that identity. We Israel. We Israel. Okay, now, who are you? I'm Israel. Well, what does that mean? I'm a prince and a power. Well, let me see your life. And I'm going to find out if you're a prince and got power with you. We're going to find out. Let's follow you around a little while and see is what your confession is, if it's lining up. Y'all hearing this?
Oh, yeah, we hear it. And reflecting.
What happens is we start hurting the people we love the most because we would never take responsibility for the character flaws, for the things that we have that's in our life that we know that are not the right thing. Our behavior, our temperament, our attitude. All of this is what I'm talking about. That makes you who you are. Y'all following this?
Yes.
Self-deception. Self-deception. Uh-oh, I'm going the wrong way. I'm not going backwards. We often use painful life experiences to justify being non-ideal version of ourselves. Anybody got somebody like that? They don't want to deal with themselves or take responsibility for who they are. So they say, "Yeah, you know, it's because my mama left me when I was little, and I had all these situations in my life that made me who I am." Even though, you know, my idea of who I am, the lie that I'm displaying, I like that. But the truly who I am needs a whole lot of work. So instead of me taking responsibility for who I am or who I've allowed myself to become, I'll just say it was because of all of these painful experiences I had in my life. Anybody know somebody like that?
Yes.
See, that's what Adam's problem was. Adam, what did you do? Now, that was his moment. That was his time to say, it was just me. I just missed the mark. But no, it was that woman over there that you gave me. The woman you gave me. She was the one that made me do all of this and, you know, and fall and eat off that fruit. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was working and tilling the garden. Matter of fact, when I came home from work, she just put something in my mouth. I said, "Well, what is that?" Are y'all hearing me?
That's the way it happened.
That's the way it happened. I tripped and fell. Then the tree, my mouth opened up and I bit and then I ate.
See what had happened.
See, self-deception.
That's my story I'm sticking to.
Right. See, he could have came from a whole lot of different angles, right? That squirrel. Them birds. He could have named all that. He could have just went. But he said, no, the woman, it was her. It was her. Her fault. Anytime we do that, we directly and indirectly hurt others, especially the ones that we love the most. Adam didn't know by blaming Eve that he was really hurting her. And she couldn't do nothing but say, it was the serpent. Because he didn't threw me under the bus. It was the serpent. I can't say it was Adam. I got to say it was the serpent. Y'all hearing this? Nobody took responsibility for their own situation, what they did, or the role and part they played in it. A lot of times when I do marriage counseling, I got people who always want to give their side and their point. And they never take in consideration the other person's side, because a lot of times we're blinded to ourselves and we can't even hear another person's point of view or perspective. Especially when we have did some hurt or some damage to somebody. Y'all hearing this? So it requires somebody to be bold enough, to be courageous enough to tell you the truth about yourself, even when you don't want to hear it. Because we can see you in self-deception. And as much as it pains me, as much as it hurts me to give you these words, I got to give them to you anyway. Whether you hear it or forbear it or try to fight me afterwards, I still got to give you the truth. Y'all hearing that?
Yes.
And know that there's different versions of the truth too. There's your version of the truth.
Right.
There's Satan's version of the truth.
Yeah.
And then there's Yahweh's version. Now, which one you think is truly the truth? Another primary cause of self-deception is that we can contribute to large-scale acts of cruelty by believing our lies and spreading them to others. That's another cause of self-deception. We just got to talk about all the people shooting up churches. Yeah. Whoever went in there and shot that church, do you know that there was a level and a degree of self-deception that we don't understand that was working in their life? And it just didn't start that day, but it was years and years of self-deception, and it built up to this act of cruelty, this act of violence. Just had the man caught with the two children, shot the girl at the gas station, took the children off for a couple of days. They ended up finding them, turned himself in, ended up, well, they didn't turn himself in, but he got caught. There was a degree of self-deception that was going on in his mind.
Yeah.
Y'all hearing this? Yes. Although most of us deny that we are capable of deliberately harming others, history and a great deal of social psychology research suggests that we are all capable of extreme acts of cruelty or violence when put in the right environment. Those people, that's that song, don't push me because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. That was my jam. Welcome, Brother Mary. They don't know about that. They don't know about it. It's like a jungle. People keep going on. See, that's the thing. See, we all are close to the edge. And the reason why we're all close to the edge is because we were born in hell. Remember that? Remember that speech I talked about? See, people will never call this hell. I don't care. They won't call it. They call this just living. I'm just living my life. But when we look at what's going on in our world, everybody trying to get out. Everybody wants a way out of hell, but hell ain't letting nobody out. Yeah. The Bible already says that the world has been given over to the hands of the righteous or the wicked. Which one? The wicked. So if the wicked are in control and running it, The Bible says the foundations of the earth are all ordered out of course. Everything is off. Everything is off in this world. They go dig in the ground, get a gold rock, and put value on it. Say, yeah, this is worth something. And if you ain't got this rock right here, then you ain't nothing. What sense does that make? We think money is pictures of dead white people on it. And people will kill, steal, rob, stab you in the back to get pictures of dead white people. Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
Let somebody die that got a whole lot of it. And I did a lot of funerals, boy. Somebody wasn't in the wheel. Somebody couldn't wait till this person go, and all the children and cousins, they go crazy.
Yeah.
That's true.
Y'all hearing this?
Yes.
Make that environment the right way. You're going to see what's really in people.
Yeah.
Are y'all hearing that? Self-deception. Everybody say self-deception.
Self-deception.
Now I know people watching me say, he ain't even gave one scripture. He just up there talking. Pastor Tatum just up there talking and just coming up with just stuff. He ain't giving not one scripture. We're going to get to the scripture, but we talking first. Is that all right?
That's good.
Lay the foundation.
Yeah. The third major cost of self-deception is that it can leave us with a massive amount of regret. Ain't nothing like being at the end of your life, in the bed, more about to check out, and you got all this regret on your mind. Man, I wish I could have. Man, I wish I could have. Man, I wish I could. I wish I could. I should have, would have, could have. But I didn't. So because I didn't, I got to just keep looking back on my life with all this regret. Regret, 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 regret.
Yeah.
That's the cost of living in self-deception. You lied to yourself so much that now you looking back like, man, why did I do that? Because you was deceived. Y'all hearing this? It's going too far. This thing is just all going all over the place. Okay. Look at that. It won't even go to the scripture I want to go to. Look at that. It's going too fast. Okay. That ain't it either. Okay. Matthew 24:34. What did it say?
And as he sat upon the Mount Olives,
Yep.
the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be?
This is what the disciples said to Yeshua. Come on. And what they said.
And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? And Jesus answered and said,
Turn them up some, Jeremiah.
Take heed that no man deceive you.
See? The first thing they wanted to know, when shall all these things happen? What's going to be the end of the world? What's going to be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And the first thing that the Messiah said to them was, take heed that what? No man do what? Deceive you. Deceive you. Why would he start from that point? It would seem like he would start by answering the question. Take the first question and the second one. He started off saying, the first thing I'm going to tell you is don't let nobody deceive you. Don't let no man deceive you. Now, if I was to ask the question, which man can deceive you? You can point to Elder. He can deceive you. Yeah, he look like he can deceive you. Yeah. You would look over that sister. Yeah, it look like that sister could deceive you. Y'all point at me. Yeah, Pastor. Yeah, we definitely know. He has the ability to deceive us. I would look at that brother back there. Hey, he can deceive me. Right? So what happened is everybody be pointing in different directions, just pointing. But nobody thinks that this man would deceive you. And that's the man in the mirror. Everybody can deceive you. You will say everybody will deceive you, but you will never think that yourself you can deceive yourself. Y'all hear me this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody can deceive you but yourself. That wouldn't even be something you would think of. Because he said, take heed that no man can deceive you. You instantly think about everybody in the world who can deceive you, except yourself.
Right.
But you can deceive yourself.
Yes. Yes, you can.
Scripture says, Jeremiah 17:9, what it say?
The heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
The heart is deceitful above some things, all things, and it is desperately wicked. Who can know it? Who can truly know your heart that is desperately wicked? Always thinking of something wicked to do. If it's not been renewed and fashioned after Yeshua HaMashiach. And even when it's done like that, sometimes your mind still go there because there's a war going on.
Yes.
Y'all hearing that?
Yes.
See, that's what Paul said. Apostle Paul. Apostle Saul, he said there's a war going on in my members. I want to do good, but what's present with me? Evil is always present. Where is evil at? It's present in my flesh. Because in my flesh dwelleth no good thing. See, he was talking about demonic spirits. He was talking about what's really going on.
Right.
Y'all hearing that? Man, I want to do good. Don't y'all want to do good?
Right.
But every time you want to do good, there's all this bad stuff. This evil stuff saying, come on.
Yeah.
Let me talk to you for a minute.
Right.
And then when you get alone by yourself, it really starts talking to you, don't it?
Yeah.
Why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? Why don't you try? Why don't you do this?
Yeah.
Let this word sink in for a minute. Just if I'm talking to you, just look straight ahead. Won't nobody ever know. Just look straight ahead. The heart is deceitful above all things. It is desperately wicked. Who can know it?
Yes.
Come on. Come on. What is going on? Okay, come on.
I, Yahweh, search the heart. I try to range, even to give every man according to his ways, and according to the fruit of his doings.
The only one that's able to know how desperately wicked and who can know the heart, he concluded that by saying, I, Yahweh. The only one can know how desperately wicked your heart is Yahweh. I, Yahweh, search the heart. After he searches it, he tries the reins. Even to give every man according to his ways. Not what he says, but what he does. His way. And according to the fruit of his speaking, his doing. See, anybody can say anything. You can make this mouth say anything. That's why I started off saying, we lie a whole lot.
Right.
They lie to the preacher. You know, I had to get over that with my first couple of years of preaching. And then people will lie to the preacher. They don't care. They'll definitely lie to me. And I'm thinking they telling the truth. I'm like, oh, okay. Why would somebody lie to the preacher?
I don't care.
Y'all hearing that?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Come on there. Let me see. Why this thing's acting up. Okay, I want to go in order. All right. Let's look here. Man, they won't even go to that. Okay, y'all see I need a new computer, right? See, everybody on my computer at home. On my computer, on little stuff that they on now. When I need my computer, it's all acting up. I'm about to just do this. How's that? That'll work?
They looking straight ahead.
Somebody messed up my computer and gave me a glitch. All right, so Yahweh, he searched the heart and he tries the reins. See, now that's too big.
That's okay.
Right there.
We could use a big.
All right. The heart. The heart. Matthew chapter 15, verse 19. Come on.
For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts.
See, out of the heart, this is what comes out of your heart. Out of my heart. Come on.
Murders,
Murders. Come on.
adulteries, fornication.
Get out of here. You mean to tell me, hold on, you mean to tell me, let me turn this thing off. Okay, perfect. That way all the messages and all that will come through. I'm teaching. Okay, out of the heart comes what?
Evil thoughts.
So that's the first thing that comes out of the heart, are evil thoughts. Now y'all looking at me like I said it. I'm telling you, that's what Yeshua was talking. He said the first thing that comes proceeded out of your heart is evil thoughts. You would think holy and righteous thoughts will proceed first. But again, if you're in self-deception, that's what you'll believe. Nothing but beautiful, wonderful things come out of my heart. And I know people mean well when you say certain things, and you really, I'm not like them. I'm just not. But let somebody push your button, then you become just like the people you're talking about. Because out of the heart proceeds evil thoughts. What else?
Murders.
Murders. Come on.
Adultery.
Now, wait, you mean to tell me a murdering? I'm looking at all the saints that brought the Most High in here with them, that's keeping the commandments. You mean to tell me deep down within your heart is thoughts of murder? Are y'all saying it? See? And you'll say, some people, not me though.
No.
I know what you're saying, brother. I know what you're saying. But y'all get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
See, we don't want to think for a moment that he could be actually talking to me, but he's talking to a room, but he's talking to me. He's talking to 1,000, but he's talking to me. He's talking to 5,000, but he's really talking to me. See, Yeshua had 5,000, he had 4,000, he had 70, he had 12, and he had 3. So, proceeded evil thoughts, murders, what else?
Adulteries.
Adulteries, come on.
Fornication.
Fornications, come on.
Thefts.
Thefts.
False witnesses.
False witnesses, come on.
Blasphemies.
And I know about all this here. I know about it. I know people that say that they are saints, and they'll be a false witness. They'll tell a lie in a minute. Come on.
These are the things which defile men.
These are the things which defile a man. Because these are the things that proceed out of the heart. Jeremiah 16:12.
And ye have done worse than your fathers. For behold, ye walk every one after the imagination of his evil heart.
So he said, y'all are doing worse than your fathers, because now every man, everybody is walking, everyone after the imagination, which is that heart, of his evil heart. Come on.
That they may not hearken unto me.
That they may not listen or hearken and obey the voice of Yah. He said, y'all doing worse than y'all fathers. So the point is, the reason why you can deceive yourself is because you refuse to listen to Yah, and there is no fear of Yah truly in your heart. When you refuse to listen to Yah, sometimes you don't know Yah's voice. Could be a reason why you don't listen to him. Oh, Yah's telling me that? Oh, okay, now I can. Oh, okay, that's the voice of Yah. This is the voice of the devil. Oh, this is my voice speaking to me. So you got all these other voices speaking in your mind and in your head. And you haven't had the discernment to know when Yah's speaking to you. Because his voice is always the softest one. Because he's a gentleman. Holy Spirit is always a a gentleman.
Hallelujah.
Y'all hearing this?
Yes.
So we got to recognize Yah's voice, and then there is no fear of Yah in your heart. Deep down inside of that wicked heart, there's no fear of Yah. Because evil thoughts continually flood your mind. And you don't even make yourself think about it. You just sitting there, driving in the car, whatever. All of a sudden, evil thoughts start filling your mind. Man, where did that come from? I wasn't trying to think about that, but it's in my mind. That shows you have to be delivered, right?
Yes.
Now, how can, let me ask you, brother in the back, Brother Jeremy, have you ever, somebody said something to you, and what they said to you made you want to slap them? Guess what? That happened to me too. Somebody said something to me, and it made me want to slap them. What about you, Sister Heath?
Oh, absolutely.
You, Sister Stacy? Brother Jeremiah? Elder?
Yes.
Sister Jeremy? Oh. So we all need some deliverance, right? Because how could that same thought come in his mind, come in my mind, come in your mind, how can it be? How could that evil thought all of a sudden appear at that particular moment in that time, in that situation? But maybe I didn't feel like slapping him, Pastor. I just meant to slap him with the word of God. You know somebody saying that too, right? Self-deception. This is the definition. It's the action or practice of allowing oneself to believe that a false or unvalidated feeling, idea, or situation is true. That's what self-deception means. You have allowed an action or practice to make you believe something false because it was unvalidated feeling, idea, or situation. You believe that it's true. But it ain't even been tested, proven, and tried. See, every thought, sisters, that come to your mind, you shouldn't believe it. And brothers, every thought and feeling that comes up in your spirit ain't necessarily something you need to follow, every single one. There's some things you got to test and prove and try and say, why am I feeling this way? Why am I thinking this way? Why am I believing these things that are mounting up in my mind? And a lot of us don't check our thoughts. We just let the thoughts run wild, like a 2-year-old running out in the middle of the street. Your thoughts are just running wild in your mind, just running wild, doing what they want to do, just smacking folks in your mind, cussing folks out. Ain't nobody ever check your thoughts. That's why the Bible, one of my favorite verses that I constantly quote to get a hold of the thoughts that are in my mind is casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of Yah, and bring into captivity every thought into the obedience of Christ, having a readiness to revenge all disobedience thoughts to the obedience of Christ. I quote that over and over and over because I'm trying to check my thoughts. Now, where are these thoughts just running wild? See, that's what we do. We let them run wild. And we don't check the thoughts in our mind that's coming in our mind. They go back and forth in our mind without being ever checked or tested to see where are they coming from. And you can tell that you're not, some of these thoughts, you ain't even thinking this. Try to stop making thoughts come. Get into a quiet place. I want y'all to go, this is y'all homework assignment. Get into a quiet place where you don't hear no music, you don't hear nothing, just absolute quiet. If you can find a place like that. And try real hard not to allow no thoughts to come to your mind. And watch how many thoughts come to your mind. And you're going to find out in that moment how much peace you don't have. Y'all hearing this?
Yes.
Because there's something submitting thoughts to your mind. That's what demonic spirits do all day long. When you see the commercials on TV, that's what demonic spirits do in your mind all day long. Submit thoughts, and wait till you take hold to see which one you're going to believe. But this is all a part of self-deception. Satan deceiveth part of the world. All of the world. Psalms 36, 1-4.
Transgression speaks to the ungodly with his heart.
See, transgression. What is transgression?
Sins.
Transgression speaks to the ungodly wherein? Within his heart. Come on.
There is no fear of God before his eyes.
See? Transgression speaking in your heart. There is no fear in Yah there. Come on.
For it flatters him in his own eye.
It flatters him in his own eyes. Some of the wicked ideas and imagination that come, you'll be like, man, I probably couldn't get away with that. Oh, that's fun. That's funny to me. Oh, wow. I didn't even think of that. Wow, where'd that come from? Oh, man. Y'all hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on, what is that?
Concerning the discovery of his iniquity.
See, concerning the discovery of his lawlessness, of his sin, of his transgression, come on.
And the hatred of it.
And the hatred of the things that he's doing, come on.
The words of his mouth and the wickedness and deceit. He has ceased to be wise and to do good.
He has ceased to be wise and to do good. Self-deception. Ezekiel 13:7, watch this.
Did you not see a false vision and speak lying divination?
So the prophet Ezekiel's getting the word from the Father. He said, did not you see? He wasn't talking to Ezekiel per se, but he was talking about the prophets at that time. He said, didn't you see a false vision and speak a lying divination when you said the Lord declared what?
But it's not.
So in other words, haven't y'all heard people say, the Lord is speaking this, the Lord is saying that, the Lord is doing this, the Lord is doing. He said, haven't you received a false vision and speaking lying divinations when you declare the Lord has said something or did something? And it don't happen, it don't come to pass. Or you don't even do it. The Lord told me to make t-shirts, but you never make t-shirts. So that means that's a lying divination. Lord told me to quit my job and he was going to bless me with another one, and you still ain't working. You see what I'm saying? The Lord told me to preach, but you won't study. You won't even try to get behind the pulpit. You won't even try to preach nobody. Are y'all hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he says, that's a false vision, and you're speaking lying divination. Come on.
But it is not I who have spoken.
It is not I that have spoken to these people or spoken through these people. Come on.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, because you have spoken falsehood and seen a lie.
Because you have spoken falsehoods and because you have seen a lie.
Therefore, behold, I am against you, declares the Lord God.
So now, if I say I'm against you because you seeing things and you speaking things that I'm not saying, but you keep saying that I'm saying it. Now, how many people here get upset when folks say that you said something that you didn't say? Well, Sister Rachel said, and Rachel looking like, I ain't say that. I did not say that. That is a lie. That's a falsehood. So if I say he's against you, come on.
So my hand will be against the prophets and who see false visions and other lying divinations.
See, the Father is against the prophets that see false visions and utter lying divinations. Come on.
They will have no place in the council of my people.
They ain't going to have no place in the council of his people. That means they've been ousted. Come on.
Nor will they be written down in the register of the house of Israel.
Whoa, their name will not be even written in the Lamb's book. They ain't going to be registered with the house of Israel. So they're going to be registered somewhere, just not with Israel. Are y'all hearing this?
Yes.
Come on.
Nor will they enter the land of Israel.
Well, nor will they even enter. Now you see why a lot of people don't want to go into the land? Because they've been talking false visions and utter lying divinations. They can't enter into the land. So they talk against the land. It ain't time for us to go, brother. It's too early. Come on.
You may know that I am the Lord God.
So you don't know that he's the Most High Yah. When he allows them to have no place to counsel with the people of Yah, when that name is not registered in the house of Israel, and nor they'll be able to enter the land, that's how you're going to know that he's Yah. Y'all hear it is?
Yes.
Jeremiah 7, 9, and 11. What does it say?
Will you steal?
Will you steal? Listen to the Father. These people talking about you can't keep the commandments and you ain't got to keep the commandments. This is what the Father says. will you steal then? If you're not supposed to keep the commandments of thou shalt not steal, he's asking the question, will you steal? Come on.
Murder.
Will you murder?
Commit adultery.
Commit adultery.
And swear falsely.
And swear falsely.
And offer sacrifices to Baal.
And offer sacrifices to Baal.
And walk after other guys that you may have not known.
And walk after other guys that you've not known. Come on.
And come and stand before me in this house.
And then come stand before me in this house.
Which is called by my name, and say, we are delivered.
We are delivered. We are delivered. Are you hearing the words?
Right.
So you're going to say you're going to steal, you're going to murder, you're going to commit adultery, and then after all that stuff, after you did all of that, then you're going to come in the house and say, we've been delivered from all of that. In other words, we ain't got to do all them laws and statutes no more. We've been delivered. We've been set free. We ain't got to do all that stuff no more because we've been delivered from all of that. Are y'all hearing this? Come on.
That you may do all these things abominations.
That you may do all of these. You're delivered from doing all. You are delivered that you may do all these abominations. Come on.
Has this house, which is called by my name, become a den of robbers in your sight? Behold, even I have seen you, declares the Lord.
So if I say, even I've seen your wickedness. You're doing all of these things in my law that tells you not to do, but yet still you come in the house saying, we've been delivered or free to do those things. Come on.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, concerning the prophets, behold, I will feed them with wormwood, and make them drink the water of God. For from the prophets of Jerusalem is the profaneness gone forth into all the land.
He said, the prophets, I'm going to feed you with wormwood. These false prophets, he's going to feed them with wormwood. Go look up what wormwood is. And make them drink the water of gall. Now remember, there was a wedding, right? And Yeshua was at the wedding and they ran out of wine. Y'all remember that story? And they said, we ran out of wine. His mother came to him, right? And he said, fill the water pots. And what did Yeshua do in that moment? He turned the water into what? Wine. But these prophets right here, they ain't getting the water turned into wine. They getting the water of gall. So not only is he able to turn the water into wine, he's able to make the water that they drink be gall. And y'all need to look that up. I'm not going to do all your work for you. Just dropping some stuff on you today. See? And notice, he turned water into wine without any fruit. So it really wasn't the wine. It really was the water that was making everybody intoxicated. Because the water that Yeshua makes, it's going to taste just like what it's supposed to taste like.
Right.
He turned water into wine. So the water was the big deal. That's why we'll go into that a little bit later. Are y'all hearing that?
Yeah.
See, he made wine without any fruit. He just turned water into wine. Skipped the major step in any wine. You gotta have fruit. It's the grapes.
Right.
If you say he turned grapes into wine, then, oh, okay, yeah, I can see that. But no, he turned water into wine. So it's the water that comes from him, this living water. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But these prophets here, they ain't going to get none of that. They're going to get the water. I make them drink the water of gall. That's what they're going to drink. Come on.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesied unto you.
So he said, hearken not. Don't listen to them prophets that are talking to you and counseling you and trying to give you some words of wisdom. Come on.
They make you vain. They speak a vision.
They make you vain. Those people make you vain. Come on.
They speak a vision of their own heart.
They're speaking of a vision of their own heart. Come on.
And not out of the mouth of the Lord.
And not out of the mouth of Yah. These people are making you feel good. Saying, money coming to me. You're going to be prosperous. You the head and not the tail. You running over.
And the wicked have
Money coming to me. Nah. Right? And people just going crazy. Wow, yeah, that's the word I need.
Yeah.
And every year they got a new saying. In 2003, he's setting you free. In 2004, he's at the door. In 2005, He ain't taking no jive. 2006, he ain't playing with them sticks. All that kind of crazy. That's the word from the Lord. Every year, it rhymes. That's why when 2000 came, didn't nobody have none of them sayings. Because they didn't have nothing to rhyme with that. It was 2000. All of him and none of you. How's that? Come on, what it say?
They say still unto them, and that despise me. The Lord has said.
See, they say still unto them that despise me. See, they know that the people in the churches, they really despise y'all. Because if they wouldn't despise y'all, they would be right here with us keeping the commandments.
Right.
So he knows that these people despise y'all. The prophets already know that. So they know, they say still unto them that despise me. The Lord has said, what?
Ye shall have peace.
Ye gonna have some peace. And all of them despise him because they ain't doing nothing he says. Come on.
And they say unto every one that walketh after the imagination of their own heart, no evil shall come upon you.
Ain't no evil gonna come to you. Ain't that what they hear in the churches all day long? Because you blessed in the city, blessed in the field. Did you get my blessed oil? Put it all on you. Just rub just get all, drench yourself in this blessed oil. Y'all heard them saying?
Yes.
Ain't no evil gonna come to you. People up there talking about keeping the command. Ain't nothing bad gonna happen. Y'all good. The Messiah paid it all, right? Come on.
I have not sent these prophets.
I have not sent these prophets. Come on.
They ran.
But yet they ran like I sent them. He sent me. He sent me. I come in Christ's name. I come in his name. I come in his name. He said, I didn't send them, but they ran and acted and pretended like I sent them. Come on.
I have not spoken to them.
I have not even spoken to them.
Wow.
Come on.
They prophesied.
But yet they keep prophesying, prophesying, right? He said, I ain't even spoken to them. Some of these prophets, you hear their word, you can tell the Father ain't spoken to them when you got ears to hear.
Yeah.
Right.
You'll be like, no way in the world the Father said that. No, he didn't say that. Self-deception, though. These prophets are self-deceived, ain't they? They believe they got a word from the Lord.
Okay.
Come on.
But if they stood in my counsel.
If they would have only stood in my counsel. They would have just stood there for a minute. Come on.
And had caused my people to hear my words.
If they would have caused my people to hear my words. His words. Come on.
Then they should have turned them from their evil way.
Then they should have turned the people from their evil ways.
And from the evil of their doing.
And from the evil of their doing. But because they didn't do that, the people continue on in wickedness.
Right.
Self-deception. Come on.
Can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him?
That's a good question because everybody's trying to do it. They're trying to hide themselves in secret places, hide themselves from the Father, as if the Father don't see. So they do things in the dark. They do things undercover. They go way out in the country and do stuff where can't nobody see. Tell you to cut off your family and cut off all these other folks because they don't want you to see what they're really doing. Can any hide himself in a secret place that I shall not see him?
No.
Come on.
Saith the Lord. Do not I feel heaven and earth, saith the Lord? I've heard what the prophets said that prophesy lies in my name.
They prophesy truth in his name.
Lies.
See, they don't prophesy the truth. They prophesy lies in his name. Come on.
Saying, have dreamed, I have dreamed.
They say things like, I have dreamed, I have dreamed. Y'all hearing this?
Yes.
I have dreamed. I have dreamed. Come on.
How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies?
How long is this dream going to be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Y'all hearing this?
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah, they are prophets of deceit of their own heart.
They are prophets of deceit of their own hearts. Come on.
Which think to cause my people to forget my name, and by their dreams, which
See, they're causing people to forget the name of Yah because of their dream.
Right.
Come on.
which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name from my house.
Ooh-wee. Because of a dream, cause people not to remember the name of Yah. Come on.
The prophet that have dreamed to him tell a dream, and let him tell a dream, and he that hath my word, let him speak my word faithfully. Whether the shaft is the wheat, saith the Lord.
He said, the prophet that hath dreamed a dream, let him tell a dream. And he that hath my word, let him speak my word faithfully. What is the chaff to the wheat? Saith Yah. So he said, let you know, hey, if you dream a dream, then tell the people, this is my dream. This is coming from me. This ain't the word of Yah. This is just something from my own wicked imagination that the Father ain't really tested and proven to see if it's something I should be saying, but I'm just going to tell y'all my dream. But the ones that have the word of Yah need to declare the word of Yah. As the word of Yah. Y'all getting it?
Yes.
Come on.
Is not my word like as fire, saith the Lord, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces? He
said, man, my word is like fire. And when the people hear the word of Yah, it should cause some fire on the inside of you. It should cause some inspiration, some fire should get stirred up. It said, my word is like a hammer that breaks all the rocks into pieces. Yes. So the Father knows the difference when his word is being preached and when your word is being preached.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Because his word is like what? Fire. Y'all hearing this word today? If y'all don't feel that fire on the inside,
It's a good word.
y'all are just cold. Ooh-wee. All right, come on.
Therefore, behold, I am against the prophets, saith the Lord, that steal my words, every one from his neighbor.
The prophets are stealing Yahweh's words. They put a word of Yah there, a word of Yah there, say, and then everything else is the imagination of their own heart. And you hear a couple of those little phrases, you be like, oh, that got to be a word. I remember the Father saying something like that, gave that to Moses. Yeah, wow. But that ain't it.
Wow.
He said, they're stealing my words, everyone from his neighbor. Come on.
Behold, I am against the prophets.
Behold, I am against the prophets,
saith the Lord, that use their tongue and say, he saith.
He says he's against the prophets that use their tongues and say, he saith. But he really don't say nothing at all. Come on.
Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, saith the Lord, and do tell them, and call.
So he's against the people that dream false dreams and then tell them.
Yeah.
As if it's the word of Yah.
Right.
Wake up.
Yeah.
You dreaming false dreams and now you telling them as if Yah had inspired you. Come on.
saith the Lord, and do not tell them,
And do tell them.
And do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies.
And they cause the people to err by their lies.
And by the likeness.
And by their likeness. Come on.
Yeah, I sent them not.
He's already letting you know I ain't sent these prophets. Come on.
Nor commanded them.
Nor he commanded them. Because he ain't even speaking to them. Come on.
Therefore, they shall not profit the people at all.
They shall not profit this people at all, said Yah. Y'all hearing this? Yeah. So ain't going to be no profit behind all of those lying prophets and lying divinations. Okay? We almost finished. Stay with me. Self-deception. Matthew chapter 7, verse 21. What it say?
Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven.
How many people know that to be true?
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of people saying, Lord, Lord, to it. Come on.
But he who does the will of my Father who is in heaven and earth will enter.
Also, only the ones that say
No.
are only the ones that what?
Do.
Do
Yeah, they do.
the will
Do the will.
of the Father who is in heaven will enter. So there's something you got to do.
You have to do it. You do it.
Not something you just got to say. And something you just got to put on your shirt and wear. But it's actually something you got to do.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Those are the ones that's going to enter into the kingdom. All right, what it say?
Many will
No, just a few people.
many,
Just a little small little remnant. Many will what?
many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name?
Did we not prophesy in your name? Remember that dream I gave the church? I said, I have dreamed a dream, y'all. And people were shouting, dancing, running off of that word. But after they shouted, danced, and ran, they came back down and still didn't do anything. Remember that day I prophesied and that girl was just crying? As I gave her your word, she was crying. But after she got through crying, she went back and was still the same. Remember that brother I gave that word to? Yeah, I remember that word. Man, he was hopping and jumping and so elated that I gave him that word. But after all the hop and shout was over, he went back living the same way. Because the prophets that give his word is actually going to change these people from their sin and their transgression and their iniquity. Those are the prophets that the Most High Yah is sent to declare the word to Israel.
Yes.
Y'all hearing that?
Yes.
Come on.
And in your name cast out demons.
Didn't I cast out devils in your name? Cast them out. You saw me. And the devils came out. Come on.
And in your name perform many miracles.
And in your name I performed all these miracles. People got up, got out of wheelchairs, was healed, delivered, and set free. But what?
I never knew you.
He said, and then
And then I will declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you who practice lawlessness.
he said, and then I will declare to them, I never knew you. Somebody say, he gonna say, I never knew you.
He's going to say, I never knew you.
After all that said and done, depart from me, ye who practice lawlessness. See, what happened was, there was nothing wrong with them performing miracles and casting out devils. What was wrong is when they was prophesying the wrong word and wasn't causing the people to turn from their wicked way. And then ultimately, at the same time, while they were doing that, they wasn't keeping no kind of laws or statutes or commandments of the Father. Therefore, he's going to say to them, see, not only do we keep the law, statutes, and judgment, we cast out devils. We lay our hand on the sick, and the sick recover. We perform miracles. But we're also going to keep the law, statutes, and judgments of the Father, too.
Hallelujah.
So that's not a word for us. Because people will use that and say, see, y'all cast out devils. And he's going to still say, depart from me, you workers of lawlessness. They don't know what iniquity, it says iniquity in the King James. But iniquity is lawlessness. People said the law's done away with. I can just do all these miracles. I can just cast out these devils, but I ain't got to live in accordance with the standards of Yah. Remember over there in Luke chapter 9, Bible says that John, the beloved disciple, he saw some people casting out devils and trying to do the same thing that the disciples were doing at the same time while Yeshua was alive. And he said, we told them to stop it. And Yeshua said, no, don't let them stop. Because if they're not against us, then they're for us. Now, we thought that that was a good saying, but it's not a good saying. He's letting you know that these people are going to ultimately end up at this place saying, Lord, Lord, didn't I do all these things in your name? but they never followed him in the way that he was going. And the way that Yeshua goes is not Sunday. He goes what? The Sabbath day.
Sabbath day.
Y'all hear what I'm saying? He's not going Christmas. He wasn't born on December 25th. He didn't die on Friday and get up early Sunday morning. He's not going that way. So they were doing the same miracles, just like in Egypt. Moses threw down his rod. Didn't Pharaoh on them? The musicians, they threw down their rod too. Say, come on, how bad do you want it, Moses? Come on, let's do it, baby.
Yeah.
We can throw our rod the same way.
Right.
And what's up? What's up? What's up? We made our rod turn into a snake too.
Right.
But then all of a sudden, Moses' snake swallowed up the other.
Right.
And then he picked it up by the tail. It was a rod again.
Yeah.
He said, nah, what's up with that? Now what's up?
Right.
What's my name, right? So Moses represented, same way the disciples represented. And then there were 7 sons of Sceva who tried to cast out devils by using the name Paul used. And not because they had authority to use his name, not because they were told to do those things, but only because they wanted to, to part of their profession. They was making some money. So they saying, we adjure you in the name of Jesus whom Paul preaches. And then the devils looked through the sons at the ones casting the spirit out and said, Jesus, I know. Paul, I know. But who are you? So that lets me know that there's people in this world that the devil don't even know.
That's right. That's right.
What you say about that, Elder? The devil don't even know. You know you're in bad shape when the Satan don't even know who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you really? I ain't never seen y'all. Oh, I already got y'all. That's why I don't know y'all.
Right.
Y'all been on my team a long time. Get on out the way.
Yeah.
Bible says that the devils jumped on them 7 sons, had them running out the house naked. Naked and crying, running. That's called a super Pete down there. That's a can of, that's one of them cans of whoop, right?
Yeah.
All right. This is how we turn things around. Psalms 51, 10 and 11, come on, from self-deception. This is what we have to do to ourselves and do with ourselves. Come on.
Create in me a clean heart.
That's the first thing you got to do is say, Father, create in me a clean heart. You have to repent and turn from your wicked way. And say, Father, create in me a clean heart. Come on.
Oh God. And renew a right spirit within me.
And renew. Jeremiah, turn them up some. And renew a right spirit within me. Come on.
Cast me not away from thy presence.
Cast me not. These are the steps. The first one is what? Repent. Turn from your wicked way. And then say, Abba, create in me a clean heart. 1. Renew a right spirit in me. 2. Cast me not away from thy presence. 3. Come on.
And take not thy Holy Spirit from me.
And take not thy Holy Spirit from me. Y'all see that?
Yes.
This is what else you got to do. Come on.
My son, attend to my words.
You got to attend to the words of Yah. Come on.
Incline thine ear.
You got to incline your ear to hear what the Most High Yah is saying and teaching and speaking. Come on.
Unto my sayings, let them not depart from thine heart.
You got to not allow the word of truth to depart from your eyes. Come on.
Keep them in the midst of thine heart.
You got to keep the word in the midst of your heart. I'm telling y'all how to turn it around. You got to attend to the words. You got to incline your ear. You got to let them not depart from your eyes. And you got to keep them in the midst of your heart. What else you got to do? What else it say?
For they are life.
The reason why you got to do all that is because the words that he speaks, they are life unto those that what?
Find
Come on.
and health to all their flesh.
And health to all of their flesh. Come on.
keep thy heart with all diligence.
You got to keep your heart, the heart that's desperate and wicked, who can know it beyond. You got to keep thy heart with all diligence. That means you got to check every thought of anxiety, of stress, of worry, of doubt, of unbelief, of murders, of all it. You got to keep it in check with all diligence. In other words, you can never let your mind just run loose. No. Scripture in Isaiah says, he will keep you in perfect peace. All who keep their mind, what?
Stay.
Stay, mind, stay. Mind, stay. Mind, stay. Like you training that dog. Or training your child. If you walking across the street, you tell that child, stay right there. Stay. Don't move. Just stay right. Stay. All who keeps their mind, stay. Keep your mind, stay mind, stay on the things of God, stay on the things. I know you want to go into work, stay. But what about this bit? No, stay. Stay on him, stay on him.
Hallelujah.
Because we trust in him.
Hallelujah.
See, if you let your mind be like a 2-year-old and run around and do whatever, the 2-year-old can get into. They call them the terrible twos for a reason, don't they? They get all into everything. They will pull your TV down on themselves, the bookshelf and everything.
Oh, wow.
Right?
They will.
Yeah.
So your mind, you got to keep it with all diligence. Why? For out of it are the issues of life. We must keep his word deep within our hearts. I'm going to close out with this. The woman at the well. Everybody say the woman at the well.
The woman at the well.
That's a good picture of the woman at the well, right? It took me a minute to find that picture. All the other pictures was the Caucasian version.
The devil is a lie.
I said, I won't dare put that version up in front of the saints of y'all that know the truth.
Thank you.
And I'm preaching about self-deception. All right? The woman at the well. Come on, John chapter 4, 7 and 15. What did it say?
There came a woman of Samaria to draw water. Jesus said unto her, give me to drink.
See, this woman was full of self-deception herself. She was coming to the well like she came to the well every day. She came to this well. This is going to bless y'all. Stay with me. Come on.
For his disciples were gone away into the city by meat.
Disciples were going away in the city to buy meat. And this woman was coming to the well that she always came to with the same mindset she always had. Deceived as she want to be. Coming to the well. Coming to the well. But this time, the truth was at the well. And deception was walking towards the well. What happens when truth meets deception? There's about to be some kind of charismatic colliding, some boxing going on, right? So some rumbling about to go on, right? Look here. What happened?
Then said the woman of Samaria unto him, how is that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which are a woman of Samaria?
That's a good statement. She said, well, how are you being the truth, asking somebody like me a lie to give you something to drink?
Right.
I put a twist on it, didn't I? So her question was all right, then what?
Yeah.
How the truth gonna ask the lie to give me something to drink? Y'all following that?
Yes.
We ain't got no dealings. See, the truth and lie ain't got no dealings. They shouldn't be co-mingled together.
No.
Light and darkness ain't co-mingled. What has Christ with Baal, the sons of Baal?
Right. No.
How can you sit at the table of Yah and sit at the table of devils at the same time? How can you drink from Yahweh's fountain and then drink from Satan's fountain?
No.
How can you hold hands with Yah and then jump rope with the devil the next day? Y'all hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
The Jews have no dealings with Samaritans.
So they ain't got no dealings with one another. Come on.
Jesus answered and said unto her, if thou knewest the gift of God.
So all of a sudden, deception's about to get a gift. Her little deceived self. She's about to get a gift. He said, but if you only knew the gift. See, self-deception can't even perceive the gift. You can be so deceived you don't perceive the gift that's right in front of you. If thou knewest the gift. Come on.
And who it is that saith to thee,
And if you only knew who I was, that's saying to you,
give me drink, thou wouldst have asked of him that he would have given thee living water.
so in other words, she had an opportunity to come out of self-deception and get the truth, this living truth, this living water. Woo, in the midst of her deception, the truth was presenting itself. If you only knew who I was, if you only knew the gift of Yah that's coming, sitting on, waiting for you to come at this well at this particular time. If you only knew that, man, you would have said, give me something to drink.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, we ain't got no dealings. You see that?
Yeah.
Come on.
The woman said unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep.
So she perceived that he didn't have nothing to get this water out with. He didn't have nothing to draw it out with. She said, sir, thou hast nothing to draw with. And the well is deep, as if Yeshua needed her to tell. See, the lion's always trying to tell the truth,
Right.
what the truth is.
Right.
Now, how you a liar don't try to tell the truth what's going on and what's happening?
Right.
Y'all hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She said, from whence then hast thou that living water? Where is it located? Where is it in? You ain't even got nothing to draw with. Watch this.
Jesus answered and said unto her, Whosoever drink of this water shall thirst again.
Whoever drink from this natural water is going to thirst again. So I'm not talking about this well that you're looking at that you've been coming to for the last 15, 20, 30, 40, how old you are, however many years you've been coming here. I'm not talking about that. Whosoever drinking of this water shall thirst again. That's why you keep coming back to the well, getting more water. Watch this.
But whosoever drink of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that shall give him shall be in him a well of water.
But the water that the truth is going to give to a person that's been deceived all their life is going to be to him a well of water. Spiritual water springing up into everlasting life. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Anybody want some of that water?
Yes.
Come on.
Springing up into everlasting life, woman said unto him, Sir, give me this water, that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw.
She said, give me this water that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. In other words, she wanted this living water so that her thirst could be quenched. Last thing. Come on.
He that believes.
This is St. John chapter 7.
He that believeth on me, as the scripture saith, said, come out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water.
He that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. This is the kind of water and living water that Yeshua was talking to this woman at the well about. This living water that's flowing out of the belly. But he said, he that believeth on me as the what?
Scripture.
Come on, talk to me then.
Scripture.
No, as the apostles have said.
As the scripture.
As the apostle Paul said.
As the scriptures.
So the key for this water out of the belly to flow is you have to believe on Yeshua as the scriptures have said.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
And we know what the scriptures are.
Yes.
Moses and the prophets, don't we? Everything else, the Gospels, Matthew to John, are the testimonies.
Right.
They're the testimonies. Those are the depositions that they say, yeah, everything in the scriptures is true. He did everything that Moses and the prophets said. The acts are the acts of what they did with what he did. And then the rest of it are the letters that Paul wrote to various congregations. And just because I write you an email and have a lot of verses in it, does that make my email now the scripture?
No.
The scriptures are Genesis to Malachi and the Apocrypha that they removed out of the Bible. Y'all get this?
Yes.
He that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his belly shall flow, everybody shout, rivers.
Rivers.
And I'm closing out with this. Y'all ready to be blessed?
Yes.
Not saying y'all haven't been blessed already.
Because we definitely have.
Set apart spirit. One thing I looked at was this word rivers. Everybody shout rivers.
Rivers.
See, nobody has identified the rivers of living water that's supposed to be flowing out of here. Let's identify these rivers of living water. Looks pretty good, huh? Genesis 2 and 6. It says, but there went... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground.
In the book of Genesis, there was a mist that went up from the earth that literally watered the entire face of the earth. Watch this. We're identifying the river. Come on.
And the river went out of Eden.
What went out of Eden? Rivers or a river?
A river.
A singular river. Come on.
To water the garden.
A river
Went out of Eden.
A river went out of Eden.
Yes.
One river went out of Eden. Come on.
To water the garden.
To water the garden.
And from thence it was parted and became into 4 heads.
So the river, the one river that was in the Garden of Eden, as it flowed to water the garden, it went out of Eden and it parted and it became 4 different other rivers.
Yes.
But the 4 flowed out of the water. Wait. He said, out of your belly is going to flow rivers. But the rivers have to come out of the one river.
Right.
And that's what he said, I'm the living well.
Hallelujah.
Okay.
And when you get this living well, I'm going to put something in you that's going to begin to part. This river became into 4 heads. But every time somebody get a part of the river, that river gets into you and you become another part. You become another part. You become another part. You become another part. Because it's only one river and one source that the water is parting from.
Yes.
Y'all. Nevertheless, let's read on.
The name of the first is
Pison.
Pison, that is which compasseth the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold.
Come on.
And the gold of the land is good. There is bdellium and the onyx stone, and the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is it that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia.
Come on.
And the name of the third river is Edekel, and which is goeth toward the east of Assyria.
Come on.
And the fourth river is Euphrates. The Lord God took the man and put him in the garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it.
So what we got so far is one river and it's parting into 4 different ways.
Right.
The river of Eden parting into Pison, Gilham, and the other ones. I don't see them on Tigris, Euphrates. So y'all see the rivers, right?
Yes.
4 different rivers are parting. Coming out of the stream, going into 4 different directions and spread on. Okay? Watch this. The first river, Pison, means increase.
Wow.
Most High said, out of your belly will flow rivers of living water. And the first river that's flowing, should be flowing out of you, is this increase. Increase in knowledge, increase in strength, increase in understanding, increase in motivation, in the power of Yah. Are y'all hearing this? Increase should be flowing out of you. clap for myself. Hallelujah. See, he said rivers of living water. And one of those rivers is increase. There should be an increase that comes upon you when you start keeping the commandments and when you have the Spirit of Yah on the inside giving you the power to do it. That's some increase coming. Increase in knowledge and strength and understanding and might and the fear of Yah. Increase. Everybody shout increase. Increase. See, everybody think of increase, they want money only. Increase? No. You're going to increase in some understanding, in some strength, in some obedience. Woo-wee. Increase. Somebody shout increase. Increase. So one of these rivers should be flowing out of you is the river of increase. That everything you touch, everything you start doing should begin to increase. Little by little, increase is coming to you. Hallelujah. Second river, Gilham, means bursting forth. Bursting forth. The spring near Jerusalem where the anointing and proclaiming of Solomon as king took place. See, this is this power that he was talking about. When you receive the Holy Spirit, there's going to be power, dunamis, dynamite, bursting forth should be coming out of your belly. A bursting forth, a power that ain't never been seen before, a strength and a might. A bursting forth is coming forth. Anything that bursts has to be some power behind it. Are y'all hearing that?
Yes.
A bursting forth. You shake that can of Coke up, you shake it, and all that stuff builds up inside of that can, and you open it up, and what it do? Ah! It bursts forth.
Yes, it does.
Come on in here. The anointing shall burst forth in you.
Hallelujah.
Y'all just hallelujah. I thought y'all would be dancing and running. Come on, the anointing ought to begin to burst forth in you. There should be a bursting forth.
Hallelujah.
That you can't sit back. You got to burst forth. You can't sit on the sideline and watch everybody else live life. Everybody else passing you by. No, there's a bursting forth that ought to begin to happen when you get filled with the Holy Spirit, with that set-apart spirit. There should be a bursting forth. Hallelujah. In anointing and in the power of Yah. The third river means rapid. Rapid. Everybody shout rapid.
Rapid.
Y'all know how they say, you know what, it's a danger to get in certain currents of water because the current is moving what? Rapid. There ought to be a river of rapidness that's flowing out of you that's causing anybody that hears the things that you're saying and declaring and speaking, they should get caught up in that current and begin to rapidly go where that current is flowing to. So what would that be? If I'm preaching this truth, man, when I speak the word, boy, the people that's listening and getting caught up in that current, they ought to begin to be rapidly going in the direction of truth.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Not sitting by passively saying, whoa, it's too fast. I don't want to get too much. See, some people get in the water. You see them at the beaches, boy. They get, and they, that water, put the little toe in. Then you got other folks that come in ankle-wise, just slush around in the water. Then they get on out. Then you got other folks that go about knee-deep in it. You know, and do this, do a little dance, a little splash. Then you got other folks that get waist height in the water. Then you got other folks that man say, hey, I'm going all the way in, baby. Whoa! Let me see where this thing take me to. Y'all hearing that? That's the same way it is in the Spirit of Yah. It's going to take you to where you need to be rapidly. Shouldn't be no delay. Y'all hearing this?
Yes.
When you get filled with the Holy Spirit and you begin to understand that this river of rapidness is flowing out of you, that means things are going to begin to happen. And you're going to have to begin to say yes to Yah. You're going to have the spirit of discernment to be able to discern rapidly. No, this person is not for me. No, these people are liars. These people are not the ones that I need to be with. Oh, these are the ones. Yeah. These are the ones right here. Yeah. These are my brothers. These are the ones doing the will of Yah.
Yes.
I got discernment rapidly. Y'all hearing that?
Yes.
Lastly, the Euphrates is a place that says the largest and longest river of the Western Asia. Euphrates means fruitfulness. Fruitfulness. It is the largest and the longest river. So there should be fruit on your tree as you are out of your belly flowing the rivers of living water. There should be an abounding fruitfulness to what it is that you're doing. An abounding fruitfulness. An abounding fruitfulness. An abounding that you ain't got room enough to receive it. The blessings of Yah make it rich and there's no sorrow. Just fruitfulness. Just everywhere you go, there's just fruit all over the place. Out of your belly shall flow fruitfulness. Out of your belly shall flow rapidness. Out of your belly shall flow bursting forth. Out of your belly shall flow increase. Y'all got that word, didn't you? I've never heard anybody identify the rivers. And I've been hearing and preaching the word for a long. I ain't nobody identify these are the rivers that Yeshua was even suggesting. But out of Eden, there was only one river. And it broke off into four. And these are part of the four rivers in us that is flowing out of our bellies, rivers of living water. What are those again? Increase. Bursting forth. Come on. Rapidness. Come on. And fruitfulness. Ain't that beautiful?
Yes.
And so when that woman said, give me to drink, because I don't want to come back to this well and keep living my life and drinking my life and drinking in the same old mundane life. When I drink from this new well, this well of living water that you got, all of a sudden increase is going to start happening. All of a sudden bursting forth is going to start happening. All of a sudden rapidness. And man, she immediately went, got the folks to live. Come see a man that told me my whole life. Fruitfulness. People started coming and saying, what is this woman talking about? Let's go see a man. Y'all hearing this?
Yes.
Her life was forever changed. And your life will forever change when you begin to understand what the Father is declaring to us today. I'm going to leave y'all off with that. I ain't going to go no further. That was enough for you right there. I got pages and pages and more. That's all I'm going to give y'all. I see y'all. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Come on, let's stand up. We'll close on out.
How can they hear without a preacher?